Methods of education: East versus West. A teacher from a Western country recently visited an elementary school in an Asian country. In one class, she watched 60 young children as they learned to draw a cat. The teacher drew a big circle on the blackboard, and 60 children copied it on their papers. The teacher drew a smaller circle on top of the first and then put two triangles on top of it. The children drew in the same way. The lesson continued until there were 61 identical cats in the classroom. Each student's cat looked exactly like the one on the board. The visiting teacher watched the lesson and was surprised. The teaching methods were very much different from the way of teaching in her own country. A children's art lesson in her own country produced a room full of unique pictures, each one completely different from the others. Why? What caused this difference in educational methods? In a classroom in any country, the instructor teaches more than art or history or language. He or she also teaches culture, the ideas and beliefs of that society. Each educational system is a mirror that reflects the culture of the society. In a society such as the United States or Canada, which has many national, religious, and cultural differences, people highly value individualism, the difference between people. Teachers place a lot of importance on the qualities that make each student special. The educational system in this country shows these values. Students do not memorize information. Instead, they work individually and finance work themselves. There is open discussion in the classroom at an early age. Students learn to form their own ideas and opinions. In most Asian societies, by contrast, the people have the same language, history, and culture. Perhaps for this reason, the educational system in much of the area reflects society belief in group goals and purposes rather than individualism. Children in China, Japan, and Korea often work together and help each other on assignment. In the classroom, the teaching methods are often very formal. The teacher lectures and the student listen. There is not much discussion. Instead, the students recite rules or information that they have memorized. There are advantages and disadvantages to both of this system of education. For example, one advantage to the system in Japan is that students there learn much more math and science than American students learn by the end of high school. We also study more hours each day and more days each year than North Americans do. The system is difficult, but it prepares students for a society that value discipline and self-control. There is, however, a disadvantage. Memorization is an important learning method in Japanese schools, yet many students say that after an exam, they forget much of the information that they have memorized. The advantage to the educational system in North America, on the other hand, is that students learn to think for themselves. The system prepares them for a society that values creative ideas. There is, however, a disadvantage. When students graduate from high school, they haven't memorized as many basic rules and facts as students in other countries have. The text is discussed. Eastern educational methods will be different from Western educational methods. The cause of this difference is the culture of the people. For example, Canada or America, which have ethnic, religious, and cultural diversity, society respects the value of individualism. Teachers focus a lot of attention on the qualities that make each student special or unique. Students do not memorize information, instead they work individually and answer from themselves. Class discussion are always used as a teaching technique that aims to make students learn how to convey their ideas and opinions. 3 facts about method of education in West and East. First, Eastern education, especially in Islam, emphasizes morality, morals, and spirituality, aiming to form character in accordance with religious teachings. Western education focuses more on intellectual development, critical thinking and innovation, often placing less emphasis on spiritual aspects. Second, Western educational methods focus more on individual development, critical thinking, creativity, and academic freedom. In contrast, in the East, education tends to be teacher-centered with an emphasis on discipline, academic achievement, and memorization. Student evaluation are often based on exams. Third, in several East Asian countries such as Japan and South Korea, students often experience long study hours and high pressure to achieve academic achievement. In the Western United States, the educational system often emphasizes the development of analytic and problem-solving skills. Students are encouraged to get involved in research projects and extracurricular activities. Example of method of education in West and East. Examples of education methods in the West. Student-centered learning in the United States, students are often encouraged to think critically and participate actively in class discussions. The teacher acts as a facilitator, not just a provider of information. Examples of education methods in the East. Teacher-centered learning in Japan. The learning process focuses more on teachers as the main sources of knowledge. Students listen, take notes, and memorize the material provided by the teacher with high discipline. Thank you.